Do you know what to do when someone's heart stops beating? This is not a hypothetical question. Every year, countless lives are lost due to sudden cardiac arrests that occur outside of hospitals. Most of these people could have been saved if someone nearby knew how to perform cardiopulmonary resuscitation, or CPR. CPR is a life-saving technique that is crucial in many emergency situations, including heart attacks or near drownings, where someone's breathing or heartbeat has stopped. Did you know that immediate CPR can double, even triple a person's chances of survival after cardiac arrest? That's a staggering statistic. Having this knowledge at your fingertips is not just about being prepared, it's about being empowered to make a difference when it counts the most. You could be the one to step in during a critical moment and potentially save a life. Knowing CPR can be the difference between life and death. But what exactly is CPR, you might ask? Well, let's delve into it. CPR, short for Cardiopulmonary Resuscitation, is a potentially life-saving technique that you can use if someone's heartbeat or breathing has stopped. It's quite a mouthful, isn't it? But it's fundamental. The term cardiopulmonary stands for heart-lung, referring to the organs that CPR is designed to assist. Resuscitation is simply another term for reviving someone from unconsciousness or apparent death. So, in essence, CPR is all about keeping the heart and lungs in action when they can't manage on their own. Imagine a scenario where the heart stops beating. This halt means that oxygen-rich blood isn't being circulated throughout the body, which can lead to severe organ damage or worse, death. CPR steps in here, mimicking the heart's role by compressing the chest, keeping the blood flowing, and oxygenating the body until medical help arrives. CPR is a crucial life-saving technique that everyone should know. Before you jump into action, there are some things you need to check. The first thing you want to ensure is that the scene is safe. You don't want to become a casualty yourself, so look around for any potential dangers like fire, traffic, or electricity. Next, check if the person is responsive. Gently tap their shoulder and ask loudly, "Are you okay?" If they don't respond, they may be unconscious. The third step is to call for help. Dial 911 or ask someone else to do it. When you're on the phone with the operator, stay calm and clearly explain the situation. They'll guide you through the next steps until medical help arrives. Remember, these steps are crucial. They ensure both your safety and the best possible outcome for the person in need. So, before you start compressing that chest and giving breaths, take a moment to assess the situation. Always remember, safety first. The first step in CPR is chest compressions. Now, let's delve into the specifics of how to perform these life-saving maneuvers effectively. Imagine the scene. Someone's heart has stopped. It's a critical minute. What you do next could mean the difference between life and death. Chest compressions are crucial because they keep the blood flowing, delivering oxygen to the brain and other vital organs. So how do you execute these chest compressions? First, position your hands correctly. You want to place the heel of one hand in the center of the person's chest, right between the nipples. Then, put the heel of your other hand on top of the first, interlocking your fingers. It's important that your hands are positioned correctly to ensure the compressions are effective. Next, let's talk about the rate of compressions. You should aim for a rhythm similar to the beat of the song "Stayin' Alive" by the Bee Gees, which is roughly 100 to 120 beats per minute. And yes, that's quite fast. Now, the depth of your compressions is also vital. You want to press down hard, compressing the chest by at least 2 inches for adults and at least 1.5 inches for infants. Don't be afraid to use your body weight. You need to be forceful to get that heart pumping again. But equally important is allowing the chest to fully recoil or bounce back up after each compression. This recoil is necessary because it allows the heart to refill with blood. So don't lean on the chest between compressions. Let it rise back up completely. Performing chest compressions is not about being gentle. It's about being effective. You are stepping in for the heart, pumping blood throughout the body. It's a physically demanding task, but it's also a potentially life-saving one. Remember, every compression counts. Each one is a chance to get that heart beating again. So, take a deep breath, position your hands, and start those compressions. Proper chest compressions can help pump blood when the heart can't. So, let's make sure we get it right every single time. Next, we move on to rescue breaths. After completing 30 chest compressions, it's time to deliver 2 rescue breaths. These breaths are crucial because they provide the body with oxygen, which is vital for survival. First, let's understand the correct position. You need to tilt the victim's head back slightly to open the airway. This can be done by placing one hand on the forehead and using your other hand to lift the chin gently. Be careful not to close the airway by tilting the head back too far. Once you've established an open airway, it's time to give the rescue breaths. But before you start, it's important to ensure a proper seal between your mouth and the victim's. You can achieve this by pinching the victim's nose shut and covering their mouth with yours completely. This seal is vital because it ensures that the air you're providing goes directly into the lungs rather than escaping elsewhere. Now, take a deep breath and give a rescue breath lasting about 1 second. This should be enough to make the chest visibly rise, signifying that air is entering the lungs. If you don't notice the chest rising, reposition the head and try again. It's essential to get this right, as the goal of rescue breaths is to get oxygen into the body. After the first breath, give a second one, following the same process. Remember, these breaths should be given calmly and steadily. It's not a rush. You're aiming for 2 rescue breaths every 30 compressions, aligning with the rhythm you established during chest compressions. Rescue breaths are a key part of CPR. They help to oxygenate the blood, ensuring that the body's vital organs receive the oxygen they need to function. This is especially crucial for the brain, which can suffer irreversible damage without oxygen for several minutes. Remember, practice makes perfect. The more familiar you are with the steps and techniques of CPR, the more effective you'll be in a real-life emergency situation. And who knows, you could be the difference between life and death for someone in need. Rescue breaths can provide the body with much-needed oxygen. CPR is not a one-time thing. It's a continuous process that requires your unwavering commitment. The key is to keep going until professional help arrives or until the person shows signs of life, such as breathing on their own or movement. Why is this so critical? Well, the human brain can only survive for about 4 to 6 minutes without oxygen. After this time, brain damage occurs, and after 10 minutes, the damage can be irreversible. That's why every second counts when performing CPR. Avoid interruptions as much as possible. If you stop chest compressions, blood flow to the brain stops, which can lead to brain damage or even death. So even if you're tired, remember what's at stake. This might seem like a lot of pressure, but remember, you're not alone. You've got the emergency services on the way, and until they arrive, you're the best chance this person has. Keep going, your actions can save a life. Now that you know the basics, how can you learn CPR? Well, there are several ways to go about it. Online courses are a convenient and accessible option. They offer comprehensive modules and interactive simulations to help you grasp the fundamentals of CPR from the comfort of your home. But if you prefer hands-on learning, in-person classes might be a better fit. These classes are often facilitated by certified professionals who can provide real-time feedback and answer any queries you may have. Another great resource is training videos. They provide visual demonstrations of the techniques, making it easier to understand and remember the steps. But remember, knowing CPR is one thing, being certified is another. Certification not only validates your skills but also boosts your confidence in performing CPR during emergencies. So, explore these options, find what suits you best, and take the plunge. Invest in learning CPR, it's a skill that could save a life. Let's recap what we've learned today. We started off by discussing the importance of cardiopulmonary resuscitation, or CPR, and how this vital skill can help save lives in emergencies. We delved into the basics of CPR, understanding its essence and how it works in maintaining blood flow and oxygen to the brain and heart. We also covered the crucial steps to take before starting CPR, including ensuring safety and checking responsiveness. We then moved on to the hands-on aspects of CPR, performing chest compressions and giving rescue breaths. We explored the right techniques, the ideal rhythm, and the correct ratio of compressions to breaths. We emphasized the need to continue CPR until medical help arrives or the person shows signs of life. Lastly, we encouraged you to learn CPR and get certified because you never know when you might need to use this skill. Remember, your knowledge of CPR could be the difference between life and death. So take the time to learn this life-saving skill. Thank you for watching.